Now my favourite.
It was a bet, by the way.
Still true.
You still did snog a midget.
My favourite ever story of Tim happened on another night out with the lads. This time in Bexley Village. It was a particularly warm summer evening, and we decided to have a couple of beers outside the Millers. It was massively busy with lots of people spilling out the pub onto the streets. It's quiet. Setting the scene. Now we're standing around with our Coronas and lime, just generally being cool. When Tim decided to slip off to the toilet. Now the nearest toilet was one of these superloos, where you put your money in, automatic doors open, you go for a loo and you carry on with your evening. So it was supposed to be. Well, Tim had been gone for a few minutes and we thought nothing of it, as he always gets talking to people, usually about how he used to play with Scott Parker. Always player of the decade. Fact. It was now getting dark, and so we started to look around to see if we could find him. And then I, along with every single person in the pub, noticed that the automatic doors started to open. Which was followed shortly by a yelp from Tim. To reveal him squatting, trousers round his ankles, with the toilet roll in one hand and his other desperately trying to cut the opposite. Followed by a horrified, panicked and extremely embarrassed look on his face. He'd been enjoying himself so much that he was not aware of the time limit on the toilet. And he was caught literally with his pants down. Right, but now, I think it's about time I start being nice about Tim. Yeah. And that's not particularly difficult. I think it's clear by the amount of friends he has here today that all of the nice things I said about him earlier are very much true. And I'm very proud he picked me to be his best man. Aww. Number one, oh yeah. Tim had a tougher time at school than most, which culminated in having to drop into the year below at sixth form. Even with his handicap, and I'm not talking about John Smedley over there.
John!
See?
He managed to achieve 2 A's and a B, which is testament to his intelligence, hard work and determination, something I've always admired in him. Tim has carried this on through university and now into his career, which I'm sure we're all aware has been fairly successful. But this hasn't come about by chance or good fortune. It's come about by working long hours, being committed about and passionate about what he does, and he deserves all the praise and good fortune that brings.
Yeah.
In fact, the reason I know that Tim and Roo will be together for life is that he is more passionate about her than he is about Brent Cruz. From the first date on, Tim has been besotted by Roo and clearly loves her more than anything else in the world. Aww. I'm just so pleased for him that she feels the same, and that will make a great married couple.
Oh,
lovely. Hayley wants to describe me and Tim, or Tim and I, sorry, I was going to win here, as being like a married couple. And we really have been through it all. We've grown up together, worked together. Lived together until she came along. He cooked for me, cleaned for me, paid for me, shopping, took me on holiday, cooked me meals. And he put up with my insatiable appetite for
food.
Yes!
Sex.
But there comes a point in a man's life when he has to move on and find himself a lovely lady, and Tim has certainly done it.
Yeah.
Now, my first impression of Roo was the putrid stench sick that she kindly left on Tim's living room carpet. However, since then, we can all see why Tim has fallen in love with her.
Yeah.
Not only is she beautiful and immaculately presented at all times, she is a great laugh, witty and very talented.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll all agree they go perfectly together.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of messages from people who couldn't be here today. Very
Ooh.
important messages. Tim and Roo, congratulations on getting married. It's the best thing you'll ever do. But Tim, can you please stop telling everyone we played together at Charlton?
Oh, I wonder who that is.
Oh, that's from Scott Parker. And the next one, I thought was a telegram, but actually it's a letter addressed to Tim.
A letter to Tim.
Oh, shall I read it for you?
It's up to you.
Dear Mr. O'Donnell, the results of the toxicology report have now been returned. It turns out there was no fault with our product, which produced the vile odour, but it was in fact female sick, containing copious amounts of champagne and another unidentified sticky substance. And that's from the manager at Carpetright.
Yes.
Now, before I finish my seat, I've got some words of advice for the couple.
Sorry, girl.
Would you turn and look at each other, gaze into each other's eyes? Look, you're not looking at each other. Because statistically, you're now looking at the person who's most likely to murder you.